Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello everyone, I'm Karis. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, August 25th through Saturday, August 31st, 2024. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. The awesome August night sky as we close out the month of August. Can you believe it's September already, right around the corner? Now, on the morning of August 25th, the moon is on its way to visit the planets Jupiter and Mars, and the moon will pass by the Pleiades star cluster. The moon, Jupiter, and Mars, they will rise several hours before dawn. Notice the two red objects, the fiery red star Aldebaran and the red planet Mars. This week is the waning crescent moon phase, and the waning crescent moon, along with bright Jupiter and red Mars, which you can see them drifting apart after their recent conjunction. Also look for the bright stars Capella, which is the gift that keeps on giving, Aldebaran and Betelgeuse. Plus the shimmering Pleiades star cluster again is nearby. What a lovely sight to see. Around the mornings of August 28th, we are able to see 6 planets across the sky. You will be able to see Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. On the mornings of August 29th and 30th, in the east, shortly before sunrise, the waning crescent moon will hang near the twin stars of Gemini, Pollux, and Castor. The bright star Procyon of Canis Minor, the lesser dog, is also nearby. Can you see the earth shine glowing on the moon? That's the light reflected off the earth. Now, how beautiful is that? The 7 original planets that you can see without aid of telescope or binoculars, just like the ancients did, or the OGs, as I call them, are lined up as such this week. The sun is in cool, dry, mutable Earth Virgo, ruled by Mercury. We start off the week with the moon exalted in the sign of Taurus. Mercury is still retrograde, but stationing direct this week in the sign of Leo. Venus is in her fall, but she's going home to her castle in the sign of Libra this week. Mars is in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Jupiter is in Gemini, its detrimental placement, and Saturn is still retrograde in the sign of Pisces, ruled by Jupiter. As we start off the week on Sunday, the Sun's Day, August 25th, we have the moon exalted in the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus. The strong moon's desire for peace, for diplomacy, for balance, for things to become more even keel is quite powerful with the moon exalted in Taurus. The moon is also decreasing in light now. So as we are moving towards the new moon with the light of the moon decreasing, this is an inner reflective time of what we would like to prepare, what we want to release, and what we would like to keep and hold on to with the moon in fixed Earth Taurus as a way of bringing more peace and harmony into our life. As we start off the week with the moon exalted in Taurus, making a square to Mercury in Leo, the moon makes a trine to Venus still in her fall in the sign of Virgo. The moon makes a conjunction to Uranus in Taurus, and then a sextile aspect of opportunity to Neptune in Pisces. So the communication and the feelings and the sensitivities of the moon is what can be done as far as separation, releasing, preparing, tilling the soil as we get ready to take action at the time of the new moon coming up. Later on on the 25th, the moon enters mutable air Gemini. There's just so much to talk about and communicate. Gemini is mutable, shifting and changing, and air brings in that element of communication and your state of mind, which is weighing and balancing and looking at all of the potentials for change that are coming into your life. The moon in Gemini makes a beautiful air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is fixed air, it's friendship, it's independence, it's freedom. And the air trine flow between the moon in the element of air and Pluto in the element of air, the trine is saying, yes, let's think about memories and things from the past that it is now time to let go of. Pluto is that transformation, the life, death, and rebirth. The moon rules over memories, so things of the past that you don't have to keep mulling over, obsessing over perhaps. Memories, things in your mind, it's time to let it go and change at this time. Monday, the moon's day, August 26th, we now do have the fourth quarter moon, where we move from fourth quarter to new moon at 3 degrees Gemini. Now, the third degree of Gemini is that first division, that first decadent, which brings in a double Gemini Mercury influence. There is just so much to communicate and flesh out and bounce around as far as the future and how you are preparing for the future. When we look at the fourth quarter moon in Gemini, this is a strong focus on thoughts are things. What do you think about? What do you obsess over? What do you mull about? Now, also the fourth quarter at this third degree Gemini is students and learning, because Gemini, if nothing else, is the eternal student that loves to learn new things. So what is the new information that you feel you need as you are preparing for the new moon? This can be wonderful for research. It can be great for getting all of the different facts and information about what you are planning to begin after the time of the new moon that we have coming up in Virgo. So do the research, ask the questions. Gemini is very curious. It's an explorer. It loves to discover. So ask. I always say, act like a tourist. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you don't know something. And we can look things up on the internet and things like that, but talking to people and getting a first-hand account of their experience and what their experience has been. There is still nothing like that, like in ancient times, the oral tradition of teaching that way. So this is also this fourth quarter moon that we have in Gemini. Basically, overall, this is you wanting to start something new at the time of the new moon, and whatever that may be for you, doing the research, asking the questions, getting the information, reading as much as you can about it. Also, Gemini Mercury is the writer, so keeping the journal or at least recording it so you can go back over your notes and remember everything is wonderful for this moon's day, which is Monday, August 26th. Tuesday, August 27th, the energy is so restless. This is a feeling of bouncing around from place to place, person to person, with the moon still in Gemini, making a square to Saturn in Pisces, a conjunction to Jupiter in Gemini, a sextile to Mercury in Leo, a sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer, a conjunction to Mars in Gemini, and then a square aspect to Venus in her fall in the sign of Virgo. So this is restless, and it's also going from place to place, situation to situation, where you are gathering things around you that you're not quite sure if you're going to keep it or let it go. Remember, Gemini is mutable. The season is shifting and changing with Gemini, and things can turn and change on a dime. So you may feel like, yes, I've made a decision. Then on this Tuesday, with the moon all over the place in Gemini, an hour or two later, an aspect or two later, you decide, nah, I've changed my mind. I'm going to look at it from a different angle, make a different decision. In other words, on this Tuesday, give yourself the luxury of not being sure yet that the decision might not stick. Give yourself the prerogative, the luxury of, yes, you can change your mind. It's like taking a little bit of dim sum, let's say, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you haven't quite decided yet, and it is your prerogative to change your mind many times, multiple times during the day, with the moon making all of these different aspects with the moon and Gemini, and also the moon making all of these different connections with all of the different planetary energies. It's like stopping for a while, considering it, maybe thinking yes, but then it's mutable, meaning it will morph and change. And when you are in the process of deciding something, Mercury rules over transportation. Maybe you're looking around at cars, buying a new car, or at least considering it. You don't have to sign on the dotted line, especially since Mercury is not officially direct yet. Mercury rules over transportation and signing contracts. So take all of the time that you need on this Tuesday to try different things and not feel held to making a final decision yet. Try it out first. Consider all of the different possibilities. Wednesday, Mercury's day, the moon goes home to the sign of Cancer. Now, when the moon enters her castle and she is so comfortable and connected to her feelings, the moon at home in Cancer is that feeling of, yes, I know how I feel. I'm very happy with what I feel. Also, the moon at home in Cancer is you instinctually, because the moon doesn't think, it feels. It's an instinct. The moon instinctually just knows that this is what makes me happy. This is what brings me comfort and makes you feel filled up. The moon at home in Cancer is also that feeling of, this is just right. It fits. It works. Again, I always say feed your moon. And when we feed our moon, no matter what sign of the zodiac it's in, when you do what makes you happy and it feels right, then you can be anywhere. You can be any place in the world. And that feeling of, I'm home, moon in Cancer, is there because you're connected to your feelings, your emotions, your instincts. There are no separations. Like, for instance, when the moon is the furthest away in the sign of Capricorn and you're trying to sort through the emotions and feelings. Moon at home in Cancer on this day, as there is so much to talk about and big decisions to make about your future, the moon going home to Cancer can feel just right. Now, also on this day, we have Mercury stationing direct. So when Mercury stations, think of it as the mind, the movement, the mercurial changes, just taking a pause for a moment. It's stationing. So this is like being at a rest stop for a moment with the moon at home in Cancer, where you're just feeling it. You're feeling the vibe again of, I'm taking a moment. It feels really good. You're taking it all in, and you're certainly feeling it with the moon at home in Cancer. And the moon in Cancer is very intuitive. The moon rules over the stomach. So when you get that gut feeling, that intuitive knowing that I'm just stopping for a moment, absorbing it all. This is the moon in Cancer. It's feeling right. And the answer is yes. Thursday, August 29th, start celebrating because Venus, the jewel of the night sky, the queen of heaven, our sister planet, goes home to the sign of Libra. Now, when Venus goes into Libra, her castle, then that feeling of laughter, relaxation, happiness, pleasure, feeling better in your body, in your health. This is Venus at home in Libra. Things are much more pleasant, harmonious, balanced out. Also, the law of attraction. When you feel relaxed and you're just feeling good and open to the possibilities. Now, this Venus at home in Libra makes an air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius. Earlier in the week, we had the moon in Gemini, mutable air, making an air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius. Now we have Venus, the love planet, the planet of relationships and marriage partnerships, making an air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is the transformation, the changes that need and will be made in all areas of what makes you happy, including the relationships. So Venus is now out of her fall in the sign of Virgo and feeling really beautiful and joyful, laughter, happiness at home in Libra. Friday, August 30th, Venus's day. We've got the moon entering the sign of Leo, which is heart-centered and passionate and fixed fire. As we move into Labor Day weekend, there's a lot of excitement in the air. There's so much to discuss and talk about and be really enthusiastic about, because we've got the moon in Leo making a sextile aspect of opportunity to Venus now at home in Libra. The air and the fire, those two blendings of energies, play off each other in a very positive way. In both of these placements, the moon in Leo, Venus at home in Libra, is oh so romantic. So let the celebrations, the parties begin on this Friday, August 30th, as we move into Labor Day weekend. This is a really feel-good vibe of celebration and making decisions that are firm and moving into the future. Saturday, as we close out the week and the month of August, we still have the moon in fixed fire Leo, now making a sextile 60-degree angle of opportunity to Jupiter in its detriment in Gemini. So Jupiter increases things. Gemini is the chatterbox, making this sextile degree to the moon in Leo. So as we are celebrating over the weekend, there is just so much, not only excitement, but discussion about all different kinds of things. Try to remember to listen as well as talk, because you're at the party, you're at the barbecue, you're having a great time. Everybody's talking at once with this Jupiter and Gemini, and there is just so much conversation to listen, to learn, to be excited about things. I actually love this moon in Leo, which can get quite dramatic with the sextile to Jupiter in its detriment, because we can say that it is very lively, if nothing else, as we close out the week and the month. So as we go into the new month of September coming up and the Labor Day weekend, with all of the hard work that you've been doing throughout the year, this is a weekend to take a little bit of break. It's also before the new moon, so it's the dark side of the moon, balsamic moon, where you don't want to try to force or push through something or just expend too much energy. That can be draining when we are in the dark side of the moon. But talking, discussing, of course, with the moon in Leo, having fun, Venus now at home in Libra. So celebrate and enjoy and take pride in your hard work and all that you do. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous week. I will see you all in the stars. Thank you.